Leena Norms begins her manifesto with a confession: she's tired. Not just end-of-the-day tired, but soul-weary from a lifetime of trying to do everything right. From the outside, she seemed put together, lists, goals, achievements stacked like a Pinterest board. But inside, perfectionism was eating her alive, robbing her of joy and making her feel like a fraud no matter how much she accomplished. So she makes a bold proposition: what if we stopped trying to be fully optimized, goal-crushing humans and became, instead, half-Arse humans? This isn't laziness rebranded, it's strategy. It's a survival tactic in an overstimulated world, one that prizes performative excellence over personal peace. She invites readers to embrace the radical act of doing things well enough, not flawlessly. Leena doesn't write from a pedestal. She brings us into her flat, her notebooks, her awkward conversations and failed side projects. She tells stories of burning out over color-coded planners, losing days to doom scrolling, and baking mediocre banana bread she was too embarrassed to Instagram. And through each story, she exposes how trying to do things the right way often left her paralyzed. Half-arsery, she explains, isn't about abandoning effort. It's about recalibrating what matters. Sometimes it's replying to a text with a heart emoji because you don't have the energy for a paragraph. Sometimes it's showing up to a run in mismatched socks. It's drinking tea from a chipped mug and feeling good enough, not less than. Leena carves out a space between burnout and slacking, a space filled with gentle accountability and flexible self-respect. She encourages the reader to make a could-do list instead of a to-do list, a small linguistic shift that takes the shame and pressure out of the day. Progress becomes something you notice in hindsight, not something you chase like a moving finish line. She unpacks the culture of hustle with wit and clarity, dissecting the way modern life demands excellence in every realm: career, relationships, skincare, activism, home decor. We've been asked to be humans and brands at the same time, she says. No wonder we're exhausted. Her answer: drop the brand. Be a little messy, a little average, a little freer. Through humorous anecdotes, like the time she tried a productivity system and ended up crying into a planner, she reveals how often perfectionism is a fear in disguise. Fear of judgment. Fear of failure. Fear of not being enough. By doing things half-arsed, she shows, you build the courage to begin at all, and to trust that it's okay if the result isn't polished. Leena also redefines success. Instead of big, flashy goals, she praises squiggly progress, the kind that meanders, pauses, and loops back. She encourages readers to celebrate small wins: making your bed most days, finishing a book over a few months, forgiving yourself for needing rest. These moments, she insists, are where real momentum lives. She confronts guilt with tenderness. Guilt, she says, is what fills the space between expectation and reality, and we carry far too much of it. Whether it's about not being productive enough, not replying fast enough, not being grateful enough, guilt becomes the background music of modern life. Leena invites us to press mute. There's also space for creativity here. Leena champions creative rest, writing poems badly, singing off-key in the shower, doodling with no audience. These acts, stripped of ambition, become portals to joy and self-connection. You don't have to be good at something for it to be good for you. Her writing glows when she discusses relationships. She suggests that showing up imperfectly is actually more honest, and more nourishing, than any curated image. Half-arse love means texting back even when you're awkward, saying, "I don't know," in arguments, or just listening without advice. Intimacy, she argues, lives in the undone and unfiltered. Throughout the book, Leena never instructs, she invites. Try this mindset, she says, not because it's trendy, but because it might make your days feel lighter. She doesn't pretend to have mastered half-arsing, she's in process, just like the reader. That humility becomes the book's beating heart. In a particularly moving passage, she speaks directly to her past self, the girl who overworked, overthought, and underestimated her own softness. She writes, "You don't have to hustle to belong. That sentence echoes long after the page turns, becoming both permission slip and protest. As the book closes, Leena offers no tidy wrap-up, number 10-step plan to becoming a successful half-arse human. Instead, she offers relief. Relief that you can exist in a world that demands everything, and still choose to give what you have, in the form that feels most human. Ultimately, Half-Arse Human is a gentle revolution. It argues that sustainable living isn't built on guilt or productivity, but on kindness, imperfection, and the audacity to rest. Leena Norms gives us a new standard, one rooted not in performance, but in peace. And maybe that's more than enough.